All right, guys, welcome back to a very quick game two as we're already getting the draft underway. Let's hop over to it, Kai.
I am so ready. These teams are moving, man. They're on fire.
Yeah, they are. All right, so we're going to be on Cursed Hollow. So it's going to be a bit bigger of a battleground, and we're so far seeing Sylvanas and Zeratul being banned out.
Definitely. Once again, Zeveron trying to keep that Sylvanas away from Cloud9. Sylvanas banned by a lot of teams on a lot of maps, but I especially like seeing her kept away from Cloud9 after what they did with her in earlier games today.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what we'll see, and I was wondering if this was going to be the case. Johanna and Azmodan already from Vortex, we saw them use these two on this battleground, specifically in game two of the first series we had. So they're feeling very comfortable with this composition on this battleground.
Oh, Zeveron, there it is, the dream. Jaina, Butcher, Taronda.
Yeah, they've got so many stuns, so many slows just from those three there that they can just add in a heals and add in some sort of front line, and they are golden. The damage, the stuns, it's going to be frightening trying to get away from Zeveron.
Yeah, their team is done. If they can get an Uther in there or Rehgar, either one works. Uther, you use the Divine Shield on the entrance. Rehgar, you use the Ancestral Heal on the exit. Cloud9 can try to block them out of both of those healers, but I've seen people, really good people, make Malfurion work. But either of those two, Rehgar or Uther, would really be a great pick for Zeveron.
I mean, would you want Zeveron to have entangling roots on top of all of that? I would be scared.
I would be scared as well. It looks like Cloud9 bans out Muradin, which... Okay, Muradin is banning out Uther, so I'm guessing Zeveron wants to make the Rehgar pick.
Yeah, see, I think the Muradin was good. They realized, we don't need Muradin Tyrande on top of the dream Tyrande Butcher Jaina.
No.
So we're going to force them to have some sort of different front line. We've already taken ours. We know that we want the Johanna to help Azmodan pick up those stacks. Zeveron is going to ban Uther, but Vortex wants that Rehgar. And in fact, they're also going to grab Tassadar on top of that. So they've got a really, really strong support system here in place.
I feel like Zeveron banning Uther. I know they wanted to keep Uther away from Cloud9 because he would have fit strongly into that comp, but having banned Uther and then knowing Cloud9 would respond by taking Rehgar, they've backed themselves into Malfurion, who is less than ideal. Had they not banned Uther, they could have picked up Rehgar, which would have worked out a lot better for them.
Yeah, they are going to get the Malfurion and Arthas, of course, because it seems to me like this is their new favorite hero. It's my new favorite hero, so it's fun with me.
Comfort pick. Well, I mean, their only other choice, since Muradin is banned and Johanna is in, their only other viable choice really would have been, well, I say Anubarak, but really Tyrael does work with the Butcher. But hey, you know what? I will never discount Arthas again, man. Go Arthas. Let's see it.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about the Tyrael and Anubarak, but they are somewhat squishy for warriors, and that's not something you really want to have when you only have the one support, as Vortex had already picked up the Tassadar, which would have provided those extra shields. So instead, picking up the Arthas, they've made it work. We'll see if they can make it work on Cursed Hollow as well.
Oh no! I have bad news, Gilly. It looks like I am playing for Zeveron.
Oh my god, okay. And Fury, you're going to have to play Arthas, Kai. How do you feel about that?
I've never played Arthas before, so I'm sure this will... well, maybe in Alpha, but...
There we go.
There we go. I just saw myself queue up as Sylvanas, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that would have been scary.
Anyways, you know what? If you'd asked me 2 hours ago, I would have said Arthas is kind of squishy, but I will never say it again. I'm done.
Yeah, and I mean, he does so much damage that, like, even if you want to get in there to attack him, you're still going to be taking a ton of damage from that Frozen Tempest. So,
you know what, though? Actually, I'll take it, because I've seen this Jaina comp with Butcher and Tyrande work taking Ring of Frost to keep people in place to set up for Butcher's furnace. However, with Arthas, and we know how much Fury loves using Syndragosa, it would be much easier for Jaina to take the higher damage water elemental and allowing Arthas to set up for the furnace with Syndragosa.
Yeah, and you know what else helps with that? Entangling Roots and Lunar Flare.
Yeah.
So many stuns and roots.
You are so right. So while at first we may have been like, oh, Arthas, you know what? They make it make sense. I'm all about it, guys. On the other side of the board, though, we have Cloud9 Vortex, who has put together a super strong team with this Asmodan. They have Vala, who's going to be able to zone. We've seen them do it before on Cursed Hollow with Vala, with Asmodan. Now they have Tassadar, who's going to be able to drop his Psy Storms. If he takes double Psy Storm, even more effectively. Nobody is going to be able to pick tributes off of them. And if they want to, they're going to have to kill the entire team because everyone on this team has very strong poke.
Yeah, that is definitely something that Zeveron's going to have to watch out for because we saw Vortex do the exact same thing versus the plays in our first matchup. It was so difficult for the plays to try to ever pick up a tribute because of the poke potential from Vortex between Vala and Asmodan, and they've got so much support behind them, you know, Johanna to keep them off or keep people off of them, and then of course Tassadar, like you mentioned too. You could even pick up the increased range on the Psionic Storm at 1 for even an easier time of stopping those tribute pickups.
All true. We often talk about the different ways to gain vision and knowledge on the map. Each team has something in their favor. Of course, we have Tassadar with Oracle. We also have Tyrande, played by Faye, one of the best Tyrande players we know, with those owls from so far away, able to give them so much map vision. So each team has a way to gain vision on the map. Cursed Hollow is a huge map, so having vision is very important.
Yeah, it definitely is super important, especially around those tribute capture points too, as there is always the potential for a flank around the side too. We mentioned the poke on the side of Vortex, but Zeveron also has some pretty good ways of denying Vortex from picking up tributes as well. We've seen a Loon's Grace pick up for Malfurion, which increases the range of his abilities, so it makes it a little bit easier for him to Moonfire, and Moonfire is on a very short cooldown, so he can do that pretty much for days. But we also have the Owl, like you mentioned, the Sentinel from Tyrande. We have Lunar Flare from her as well, and then Jaina can throw in a Frostbolt too. So there are a lot of ways for each team to be able to deny the other picking up the tributes, for each other to be able to see where they're going. I'm really excited to see this composition that we've seen Vortex be very comfortable and confident with before versus one that we've just seen Zeveron be super confident with as well.
And Zeveron keeping to, actually both teams are keeping 2 comfort picks, like you were saying, with the Asmodan, with the Arthas, with the Tyrande for Faye, something she's been comfortable with since the very beginning of Heroes of the Storm. Vala in C9, something they've been playing all day, all of this leg of the tournament, actually. They played her on Monday as well. These teams, this is important for C9. Obviously, if they lose this one, they are out. This is best of 3. This is game 2. This is also important for Zeveron. If they win this one, they take it home. So, important game.
And we talked about seeding points, guys. If you're unfamiliar with that, we do have the road to BlizzCon. I'm going to hop over to camera since we're having a little bit of lobby trouble. We do have the road to BlizzCon July open happening this weekend. There's going to be a whole bunch of streaming a whole bunch of games, and all of these teams really want to get seeding points that will make it a little bit easier for them to get, hopefully, further into the tournament. So we didn't really have those for the June Open, and being able to provide those seeding points has been really cool to have some of these higher level teams join us in the Heroes Hype tournaments.
Yeah, and seeing C9 play against Zeveron, Zeveron, who's, you know, started from the bottom, now we're here. Very, very, very cool. And seeing Zeveron really put out their all and play so well, very cool.
Yeah, I'm so pumped to see these two compositions face each other on the Cursed Hollow. If you guys are unfamiliar with this battleground, First of all, hello, welcome to Heroes of the Storm. Second of all, there's an objective on this battleground where you have to pick up tributes. If you grab 3 of them, you will curse the enemy team. A curse on you means that your structures will not fire and your minions will spawn with 1 hit point. So it's very easy for a team to push while they have a curse in their favor.
Absolutely. We've said in the past, Sylvanas is like her own walking curse with her ability to shut down towers, forts, and minions. But now we're seeing, noticing or re-noticing Arthas with Sindragosa, almost like his own curse, being able to shut down towers and forts.
Yeah, exactly right. And in the process, it also slows down heroes too. So it's a really effective tool where they can kind of throw it out and then get some grace period where they're able to throw a lot of damage down on those structures and counter push. I think we saw a crazy split push even where they lost a hero, but they took like 2 forts down because of it.
Right, absolutely. They made some very favorable trades in some of those team fights where they split themselves up and maybe lost 1 person, but definitely took the board.
Well, it looks like we might have some issues, but the loading bar is moving. Let's see if somebody disconnected. Let's hop into the game. You can do it, game, we believe.
We believe.
Guys, don't forget that we are loading into this game. I was going to say that you can follow Heroes Hype also on Twitter at Heroes Hype. And of course, you can follow here on Twitch too. And then there's heroeshype.com where you can find out more about this Challenger Series. But let's introduce these teams. Spawning in the red, just to throw off Kai a little bit, we've got Zizix playing Rhaegar on. Johanna will be Tazza. Kenma once again on the Asmodean. Bobby Hankhill playing his favorite Tassadar. And Syracuse on Vala.
All right, and spawning in the blue, we have Zeveron, Equinox on the Butcher, Faye on her favorite Tyrande, Fury on his favorite Arthas, Mad Timmy on Malfurion, and Cothenlock on Jaina.
All right. Well, it looks like we are going to have maybe Asmodean. I thought maybe we would see Asmodean and Johanna move into that mid once again, trying to rotate the Asmodean as much as possible between lanes where he can, picking up those stacks for his Globe of Annihilation from that Taste for Blood talent.
Well, we see some roaming, of course, as to be expected, happening from the Butcher with Tyrande, Faye, and Cothenlock on Jaina. This is to be expected from these 3. They're going to use their lockdown, slowing abilities, and all of that damage to make a lot of picks happen. And it looks like they're heading up to the top lane to help up Fury, who is playing Arthas.
Tassadar did notice, however, that they were moving away with his Oracle, so he was able to warn his teammates who did back off, but not before they got a lot of damage done. Already they took down half of a tower, so both teams going to be really focusing on push here.
Absolutely. It looks like Cothenlock, who is playing Jaina, is staying in the middle lane for now to make sure they keep up on that soak. He's facing off Bobby Hankhill, who's playing Tassadar.
Sorry, I had to get a drink there, and now we've got a similarly big push here on top, but I think we'll go ahead and start seeing a rotation again from the Butcher in Tyrande. Maybe even into the same lane momentarily, but they're just trying to pick up some early takedowns, get ahead in experience.
But if you look at this roaming comp, which with the Butcher and Tyrande, any lane he roams into, top with Arthas, middle with Jaina, bottom even with Malfurions, everybody provides something for him. Roots, Jaina's slow. Arthas is ice root slow as well. This roaming comp pairs with everybody in any lane, so their roam is effective anywhere they go. They can keep up their 3-lane soak and set up ganks everywhere on the board.
Yeah, that is a really good point. Their gank for now is actually going to be for a mercenary camp as they're going after these forward bruisers on the side of Vortex, but
how
this
crazy!
We're going to have a pause here on top. We are seeing a pretty big push, though, from Vortex. I'm going to hop over to the cams just for a second, just in case. We can talk a little bit about the level 4 talent, as it does look like Bobby Hankhill's having some computer problems. Once again, we have mental acuity for Tassadar.
Mental acuity for Tassadar, not surprised. They definitely know the ganks are coming. They want to watch out for that. Even with no one stealthed on the team of Zeveron, they know what's coming with the Butcher to Ronde comp. They want to watch out for the train before it gets there.
Yeah, that's going to give them a lot more vision. And all right, we're hopping back in. We do see the bound minion once again. That helped Kinma push lane so effectively in the last time we saw this Johanna Asmodan composition on the Cursed Hollow. Now, it does seem like the Butcher and Toronto were able to pick up those forward bruisers just in time for the first tribute to spawn, which will be on bottom.
We're seeing Syracuse take the Q build, his Hungering Arrow build, much like he did last time on Cursed Hollow. Definitely very helpful for those tribute fights. Put out a lot of hero damage for Vala. Not surprised on that. Very smart move.
Yeah, between her and the Asmodan, of course, with a very long range on that Globe of Annihilation, they're going to have no problem poking, but that's not really what they're wanting to do here. They're going to go ahead and give up that first tribute because they were able to take down a tower on top, and now they've even started moving in toward this fort. Fury had to go back. He's having a very difficult time trying to defend versus the three of these.
So this is the composition we saw from C9 earlier in the day, where they're doing a very heavy push comp and they're just unrelentingly pushing in on the enemy team. They're taking forts and towers while no one's around. Really nice pick on Johanna. The roam came in with Faye and Equinox and they picked off Johanna. That's really good. Unfortunately, they didn't get Equinox, so he is going to be able to sneak right back out and start his soak back up. They need to be aware that Asmodan is going to just be doing this the entire game. They're going to need to watch that and pick him off because he's going to sneak right back out and do it again and again and again and again.
And another thing, too, is that they had to leave that middle lane in order to pick up that takedown on Johanna, and so they did lose out a little bit on lane soak. Maybe not quite worth it. We'll have to see. It wasn't too much. They're both the same levels, but now we're going to start to see the deny here on Zeveron, who's trying to pick up this this tribute, as we've got Taza up there who can throw out shield glares, we've got Bobby Hankill who can throw out Psionic Storms. It's just constant. Even a Globe of Annihilation coming in there from Asmodan. Fury's having a heck of a time, even with all of the zoning from his teammates. He will eventually be able to pick it up, but it did take a long time where they weren't really soaking that top lane.
Again, like you said, getting pushed out of the soak. Faye had to help block for him. Cawthonlag had to help block for him. They're definitely getting pushed around and pushed out of lane and pushed to places they don't want to be by C9's push comp. There's a lot of pushing and pulling happening from C9, which is a really good response to what happened to them last game from Zeveron.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. They don't want to snowball out of control when it comes to structures like they did in the last game, and they're doing such a great job of it so far. They've been the ones to take down structures, although they have lost so far in terms of tributes, but they're a little bit ahead in experience. They shouldn't have a problem contesting the next one, which is sometimes an issue in that if you were to be behind at level 10, the heroic abilities, that could be a problem trying to contest in not having those, but it shouldn't be a problem.
Right. I wonder a lot where, let's see. I'm trying to look on the board here and see where they're going to be going. If you look at the positioning for Equinox and Faye, are they going in on this boss in the bottom lane?
Look like that, yes.
This would be a very early game boss. 5 minutes in, level 8. Is that really their idea to start in on a boss? They're only one away from a tribute. Is that something they want to do? They don't really need the next tribute. It won't cause a curse for them. It's not very important. They could skip it and really go for a boss, and that would perhaps distract C9 long enough for them to regroup and push out their lanes a little bit, maybe take care of some of the damage Asmodan has done.
Yeah, I mean, think about it this way. Even if they skip a tribute, if they time it right, they could possibly be able to have this pushing during the next tribute, and then they force Cloud9 between two bad decisions. But instead, they're going to have it pushing during the next tribute phase, and this is huge. Cloud9 is going to have to decide, do we give the curse to Zeveron or do we defend this boss? Because the tribute is coming right now.
Right now,
Yeah.
yes it is. 13 seconds till spawn. Most of them, Bobby, Hank, Kill, Kenma, they're going up. Kenma just realized what's happening right there was the decision. Bobby, Hank, Kill still going for it. Zizix still going for it. Taza up there. They're looking to make a pick on Fury if they can get him, but he is dragging them farther away, just dragging out this situation in the bottom lane.
Oh my gosh, he's even still denying for as long as possible. He's stalling and doing a fantastic job of it, even if he loses his life.
Dead.
He's not going to do so. He avoids the glow, but now Cothaluk even came back in using the water elemental, has still denied Zizix, thankfully.
And the boss is
picking up stealth
alive. Look in the bottom lane. They grab the bottom giants. Equinox, Faye, Mad Timmy stole the giants from C9. The boss just goes down, but now those siege giants are pushing in. They take down a tower, and now they're pushing on the second tower. It's completely out of ammo. It doesn't matter that C9 got this tribute. They are pushed into their inner keep in the bottom lane. It's just like we saw from Zeveron last game and earlier games. They are forcing bad decisions and split laning from their enemies, C9 Vortex.
Man, the decision making was unreal, but Fury's Arthas was so frustrating. He even was able to avoid the Globe of Annihilation that would have finally at least dealt the killing blow, given them a little bit of peace. But instead, they narrowly lost Rhaegar even to that water elemental. The only thing that kept him alive was that Shadow Wolf pick in keeping Rhaegar stealth for a little bit, long enough to be able to get away from Jaina. Now, it seems like Cloud9 would like to be able to pick up their boss, but already Zeveron are up here watching it, trying to maybe stop them from doing so, but meanwhile, in the bottom, Jaina is going to pick up the tribute.
Picked up the tribute. They're denying the boss. Look at the level now as well. Zeveron was able to not only make up the level difference that C9 had made, but exceed it. They're now about half a level up. There goes Syndragosa as expected. It looks like Zeveron is going to try to steal this boss right out from under C9. They are retreating.
Oh man, the frustration there. There's so much push happening here on top. And even if they can deny, if they can pick up this boss, that's amazing, but at least they're keeping their team or their opponents from even defending, and they will be able to grab the boss here. Meanwhile, this big push on top is going to get a lot bigger too as the boss comes in.
Once again, the magician's hand. They're forcing the enemy team to fight on top of the boss while those golems were already pummeling that outer fort. The fort goes down and the boss is going to move in onto this tower, make short work of it because it's cursed, and now march in on the inner keep. Every time we see this from Zeveron, forcing the enemy team to fight and look at one lane or one objective while the real fight is happening somewhere else. Now again, fighting in the bottom lane while that boss is just destroying their top lane.
Yeah, and Equinox is getting very, very low, but they're just tempting. Their low hit points tempt everyone from Cloud9 who want to make a pick so desperately. They're down a level. They know that they could get a lot of comeback experience if only they could catch somebody, but they just can't. The Starfall comes down. It slows them down. They have to disengage. They've allowed the boss, meanwhile, to take out the towers on top and start working on the keep.
Giants as well coming in to help that boss work in on the keep. Great denials from Zeveron. They're going back. They know they can keep pulling and pulling C9 into this web of lies and deceit they've set up. And they're gonna go take more giants and C9s to keep this going. Oh my goodness. Does Zizix know what's happening? He's moving around his Rhaegar. If he knows, there's nothing he can do about it. If he doesn't know, he's very confused.
Well, I mean, yeah, they've been down a talent tier, which is part of the problem too. They are about to get to 13, but they also lost the top keep. 10 minutes in, and they've lost the keep here versus Zeveron, who is very content to just move back and paint the map blue a little bit, set up for their next sleight of hand.
Absolutely. It's happening now. Cawthon Lock on Jaina leading Sarah Cruz and Bobby Hankill on a merry chase in the middle as the rest of the team takes the boss in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and this is a boss who will be heading straight in once again toward Keep. The towers are already down there. Because they moved in toward bottom and got those down, they know that later on that their boss will be able to move in there. And look at the perfect timing for them too. The boss is going to move in and a tribute is spawning. And they look like they're not even that concerned about tribute. They might be content to just push with the boss instead. Oh no, Fury's going to go back and get it.
Once again, Fury's going to get it, and C9 has to decide. Are they going to go for the tribute, or are they going to defend the boss? Okay, they defend from the tribute. Fury gets to take the tribute uncontested. Had they gone to contest, I'm sure he would have obnoxiously led them around again, just like he did on the last one.
Well, Vortex seemed mad there because they just used a whole bunch of stuff on Tyrande.
Syndragosa! In she goes! Freezing up that inner keep while the boss is wailing on it. The boss will take no hits from the keep and down it goes. Now he's onto the tower again. No hits on him. Not even from C9 who are attempting to chase out once again, forgetting there's a boss running right to their core.
He's on the core. They should be able to take him down without any permanent core damage, especially with some shields. But meanwhile, a second tribute is spawned during the middle of this boss. And now Cloud9 are facing a tough choice here. Yes, Tyrande is down for just a little bit longer, but their opponents are 16 and they don't have those very important talents. They're going to have to let this tribute go once again, and that means the next one could possibly curse them yet again. They only have a keep left.
They have one keep in the middle lane. One inner keep. It's protected by towers and walls, of course.
And a fort.
Oh, yeah. but of course, their top and bottom lanes are completely exposed to bosses and everything else. The middle lane is... it can almost be ignored as far as ending the game is concerned. They could, they being Zeveron, get a curse, get a boss, and end the game at almost any point.
Yeah, the Vortex are hanging on. They did exactly what they needed to do, which was get 16. They had to sacrifice those bruisers, which is unfortunate, but it's better than their lives. As now they've caught back up in a talent tier. They had Kinma split pushing just so they could catch back up and get those very important talents. So now is the time. They've got a good long window before Zeveron gets to 20. They're gonna have to fight here at the
Speaking
tribute.
of that inner fort, Syndragosa, and down it goes.
All right, well, here it is. This is going to be a big one. This is important because Zeveron gets this tribute and they get the curse too. So Cloud9 at least needs to, if they don't get it, take down a lot of members of Zeveron here so that they can't capitalize on it. They want to keep that last keep safe, but Butcher is up top. Equinox is up top this whole time on the boss.
It's the same thing that we've seen. It's the same thing we've seen from Zeveron. They are just holding all of C9 hostage at this tribute spawn. C9 knows that a curse is going to come out of it, but look at the Butcher, there it is! And it's going to push straight to the core uncontested, and Equinox is going right with it, and it has giants. Remember those giants you said weren't worth their lives? Well, it's going for their core.
And on top of that, they've lost 2 members. A third will go down as well. An amazing ice block from Mad Timmy saved his life. He talked about that tranquility and ice block, and that's exactly what he did to stay safe versus the strafe. Syndragosa coming in, doesn't do much of anything. He's just really excited to throw out the dragon. We've got a full health giant on the core. All the members of Zeveron are up and hitting it too. It's going down so fast. I think that we've got ourselves a winner, Kai.
I see the GG. Here it is, 20% and done. That is 2-0 for Zeveron. They take these games over C9 with in what I'm going to call the Zeveron magician sleight of hand style. It is something magical, truly, to behold.
And you know what that takes? That takes an insane knowledge of the battleground objectives. You have to know exactly. They knew exactly when that Giants timer was up. I looked at it earlier when they were stealing the bruisers, and it still had 40 seconds left. So they knew exactly when it was up. They had somebody ready. and sitting there. And then that meant that the rest of them just needed to sit back and poke at that tribute, not try to hard engage, just throw out what they could. We mentioned that although Cloud9 had great poke, so did Zeveron, and they used that to their advantage to be able to stall out those tributes constantly while they were taking other advantages on the board.
So true. They met Zeveron Zeveron met Cloud9 poke for poke for poke, and they had just enough to keep Cloud9 engaged, keep them coming, come hither, come hither, come hither, while what was really happening was just one teeny thing over here, and it always tipped the scales. And like you said, amazing knowledge of the battleground, picking up bosses at just the right time, picking up tributes at just the right time, and then explosive things would happen on the map, and that's when they would make the true engage. Very well done by Zeveron.
Extremely well done. They will take first place in this Challenger Series. They get the top amount of seeding points. If it's the same as last week, I do believe it's 50 seeding points, but they do get the most, which is at least what we can say there, toward the Road to BlizzCon Open that is this weekend.
Absolutely.
Yes, and we'll also have another one next week and continue from there, but from those on, we'll be going toward seeding points for August, I do believe. So congratulations to Zeveron. Also, congrats to Cloud9 Vortex. They also will walk away with some seeding points. I think we don't have the winner of our third place match, but it will either be Cognitive or the Plays getting some as well.
Right, they will have to duke it out for number 3, but congrats to Cloud9 Vortex as well. They played some amazing games today, really showed us some awesome push strats and awesome specialist plays. Really well done on both sides of the map.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, don't forget that you can always follow Heroes Hype for these Challenger Series, as well as make a team and join us too. And if you want to do that, make sure to check out heroeshype.com. Also, Heroes Hype on Facebook and Twitter, and then of course right here on Twitch. Make sure to also follow our sponsor, Follow Esports, and that's right there at the bottom as well. I think it's Follow Esports GG on Twitter. Kai, where can people follow you and find you on social media?
Absolutely, Gilly. My name is KiyeBerries. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere at KiyeBerries, everywhere KiyeBerries are sold, including your local supermarket. Give me a follow. I would love to see you guys again in the future, today, tomorrow, tonight, and every day. Thank you.
Awesome. Guys, if you guys want to follow me, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, all Gillyweed SC2, like StarCraft 2. Kai and I have a show together on TGN Squadron.
We do!
Yes, so you can find, we always tweet about that on our personal Twitters. I also have a show called Eye on the Storm that covers the meta of Heroes of the Storm. That's once a week on Misclicks. And then, of course, I stream every day, every weekday as well. So be sure to follow me on Twitter. That's where I always announce what I'm doing.
Gilly, we'll be there tomorrow, Thursday, together on Eye on the Storm.
We will. We're actually going to get to cast something really fun on there too. We're doing a little bit of a special episode where we're going to have a bunch of streamers come in and have a streamer show match. And Kai and I are going to cast it.
Yeah, we are. So we'd really be happy to see you there tomorrow, which is Thursday.
Yes, at 7:15 p.m. Pacific time. But otherwise, we will see you right here on Monday for next week's Heroes Hype Challenger Series. Have a great week, and we'll see you then.
Enjoy your weekend. Thanks, guys.
Goodbye.